What if I told you the very things you've been doing to impress women are the exact reasons they're not addicted to you? You've been hitting the gym for 2 years, built a solid 6-figure business, drive a sleek car, and always look your best. You've done everything right, at least that's what the world told you to do. But despite all that, women aren't chasing you. They smile, they chat, maybe they even go on a date or two. But the spark, the obsession, the I can't stop thinking about him energy, it's just not there. Now here's where it stings. You see that guy, your friend, with no business, no fancy lifestyle, and barely making ends meet, and yet she's blowing up his phone. She needs to see him. She can't stop thinking about him. And deep down you're wondering, what does he have that I don't? Well, what if I told you everything you believe about female attraction is upside down? Hi, I'm James. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why women get hooked on certain men, even if those men have none of the success markers you've worked so hard to build. So if you've ever felt like you're doing everything right but still getting overlooked, stick with me until the end, because I'm about to show you the hidden psychological trigger that makes a woman emotionally addicted and why most men will never discover it. Alright, before we even get into how women actually become emotionally hooked, we need to crush one of the most dangerous lies that modern men are still falling for. You've probably been told that attraction is some kind of linear formula. Hit the gym, stack your money, dress well, drive the right car, learn a few smooth lines, do all that, and women will magically want you. And if you're anything like I was, you bought into that. You worked your ass off. You got lean, built your income, maybe even started a business. You walk into a room now, and other men respect you. But when it comes to women, it's like something's missing. They're polite, they're nice, but there's no fire, no hunger in their eyes, no desire. And that's the moment where most men start questioning themselves. What the hell am I doing wrong? Here's the brutal truth. That entire formula the world sold you. It's broken. It's a scam. And worst of all, it turns you into a performer, not a man. You start living to impress, not to express. You start seeking validation instead of radiating value. And women can feel it, because deep down, they don't get hooked on your achievements. They get hooked on you. Your presence, your groundedness, the way you make them feel without even trying. And this is where the power of Stoicism comes in. Not the Instagram version that tells you to just control what you can and ignore the rest, but the deeper truth the Stoics taught, that your worth is forged in how you live, not in what you show. It's in your discipline, your restraint, your silence when others scream, and your unshakable calm when things get chaotic. You want to be magnetic? Be a man whose inner world is stronger than anything going on outside of him. Because here's something you won't hear on TikTok. A woman becomes addicted not to your success, but to the space you create when you're fully present, fully alive, and not needing anything from her. That's power, that's polarity, that's what burns into her memory. So let me walk you through something that can rewire the way you look at attraction forever. It's called sexual market value discrepancy. Don't let the term scare you. We're gonna break it down simply. This is the real reason why some men who don't even have the money or looks, still get chased, desired, and even obsessed over. Here's how it works. Women feel a deep, almost irrational pull when they perceive that a man's value in the dating game is significantly higher than theirs. But don't confuse value with what you have in your bank account or the number of plates you can bench. That's surface level. True value, it's how you carry yourself when no one's watching. It's your energy, your self-respect, your refusal to beg or chase. It's the way you walk through the world like you own nothing and yet lack nothing. And here's the coldest part. Most men will never tap into this, not because they can't, but because they're too busy playing a character instead of becoming a man. Let that sink in. Let me break this down with a real story so you feel it, not just understand it. Picture this. You walk into a bar with 10 people, 4 guys, 6 women. There's one dude who's straight out of a magazine cover. Tall, ripped, tailored suit, wristwatch that costs more than your rent. The kind of guy you think women should automatically fall for. He's loud, flashy, clearly trying to be noticed. Then there's this other guy, normal as hell, worn out hoodie, old boots, drives a beat-up Honda, looks like he just came from fixing his car or lifting weights in his garage. No Rolex, no spotlight, no effort to show off. But then, someone cracks a joke and this second guy drops a line so sharp, so calm and perfectly timed it owns the whole room. He doesn't laugh too hard at his own joke, doesn't even look around to see who's watching. He just delivers it and lets the silence do the rest. And suddenly, every single woman in that room shifts. You can see it in their body language. Their eyes flick toward him. The flashy guy fades. That quiet dude, he becomes magnetic. Why? Because real presence speaks louder than status. Because grounded confidence hits deeper than external success. That moment right there, that's what sexual market value actually looks like. And here's the part most guys will never understand. It has nothing to do with your car, your job title, or the digits in your bank account. It has everything to do with your energy. You walk into a room like you own yourself, not like you're begging to be liked. That's what sticks. That's what hits deep. Women don't scan you with a checklist, they scan your frame, your vibe, your presence. The question they ask isn't, is he tall enough, or does he make 6 figures? It's, does this man look like he actually believes in himself? Does he look like he needs my validation, or is he already full without it? And this is where Stoicism silently steps into the picture. See, the Stoics taught us a brutal truth. Your peace must come from within. Your worth must be untouchable, not handed to you by a woman's attention or taken from you by her rejection. A Stoic man doesn't chase approval because he knows external things are fleeting. What you own can be lost, but what you are, that's yours. And when a woman picks up on that kind of inner stillness, that unshakable core, she gets curious. Her brain starts running wild. Why is this guy so unaffected? What does he know that others don't? Why do I feel this pull? That's how obsession begins. But let's keep it real for a second. Most men destroy their own value before they even open their mouths. They try to show off. They flash their lifestyle, name drop their job, talk about other women they've dated. It's what I call value theater, acting the part of a high-value man instead of being one. And here's the kicker. Every time you try to prove your worth, you're silently admitting you don't really believe you have it. That's why so many so-called successful guys get ghosted, because deep down they're insecure. Their confidence is rented, not owned. So let me ask you, man to man, are you walking around like someone who needs to be chosen? Or are you the kind of man who chooses himself? Because women aren't fooled. Not for long. They'll pick up on the smallest cracks in your frame. Even if you've got a six-pack, a Benz, and a black card, if your energy says, please like me, she'll mentally file you into the below me category in seconds. And once that label's locked in, it's over. You've already lost the game before you even knew you were playing. This right here, this is what kills attraction dead in its tracks, and most men don't even realize they're doing it, trying too damn hard. I mean, think about it. The guy who's always overcompensating, trying to say the right thing, trying to prove how successful or high value he is, that's not masculine, that's desperation wearing a mask. But then you've got that other guy. He walks into the room and doesn't say much. He's grounded, calm, no flashy flex, no need for validation. He's not trying to be liked, he just is. And ironically, that's the guy who gets chased. Why? Because that energy, the relaxed dominance of a man who doesn't need anyone's approval, speaks louder than words. It's primal, it's magnetic. Women pick up on it instantly. It's like they can smell it. That guy radiates value without saying a damn thing. He's not putting on a show. He's not performing. He just exists, fully in control of himself, and that drives women crazy. Now let's talk about pre-selection, one of the most powerful attraction triggers that most men completely butcher. Pre-selection isn't about flirting with waitresses in front of her. It's not about name-dropping girls you've dated or making her think you're in demand. That's juvenile, that's insecure energy, and women see right through it. Real pre-selection? It's quiet, it's subtle, it's in your posture, your tone, your detachment. It's in the way you don't chase because you don't need to. She can feel that you've been chosen before, and not just by women but by life. That you've faced chaos, pain, rejection, and you didn't collapse, you evolved. And here's where the Stoic mindset comes in. Real Stoicism, not the Instagram quotes. I'm talking about the inner strength to remain unmoved by external approval, the ability to sit in silence while others scream for attention, the discipline to stay grounded while the world burns around you. See, when you're truly stoic, you don't flinch. You're not trying to manipulate attraction. You become the type of man women are drawn to by default, not because you said the perfect line, but because you're living with purpose, control, and peace, and that's rare as hell in today's world. Now here's the brutal truth. If you're pretending to have options but you're secretly glued to your phone praying she texts back, she feels that. Women are biologically tuned into congruence. They don't listen to your words, they read your energy, and if your vibe screams I'm secretly insecure, that illusion of value crumbles on contact. The moment she senses that you're out of alignment, that your confidence is just a mask covering up your fear of being alone, boom, attraction dies. Sometimes instantly. You can't fake being that man, you have to become him. And that transformation, it doesn't happen by watching more dating videos or memorizing pickup lines. It happens when you start doing the hard work. Building discipline, embracing silence, rejecting comfort, owning your flaws, facing your fears without numbing them. That's what separates a man women respect from a man they forget. Hold up for a second. If this is hitting you hard, drop this in the comments right now. She gets addicted to my energy. Type it, seriously. Not for me, not for the algorithm, but to prove you get it. This channel is for men who've stopped begging for approval and started living with purpose. I'm reading every single one. Let's get brutally honest for a second, because this is where 99% of men screw it up. Most guys walk through life chasing something they'll never catch. External validation, money, muscles, cars, status symbols, fancy suits, high-status job titles, you name it. They think if they stack enough of that shit, then women will want them. Then they'll finally feel like a man. But here's the punch in the gut most aren't ready to hear. None of that means a damn thing if you're still insecure on the inside. You can have $1 million in your bank account, abs carved out of granite, and drive a car that turns heads. But if you still need women to validate you, if you're still secretly hoping that she'll finally see your worth, you're done. You're a dressed-up version of desperation. And women can smell that energy from across the room. Let me tell you something I wish I knew 10 years ago. Women don't fall for what you have. They fall for what they feel when they're around you. And more importantly, they fall for the man you are when you don't need them to fall for you. That's what we call internal value. It's not loud. It's not flashy. It's the calm, grounded energy of a man who's built himself from the inside out. He doesn't perform. He doesn't overcompensate. He doesn't chase. Because he knows who he is, even when nobody's watching. That kind of presence, it's rare. It's primal. And women can't help but be drawn to it, even if they don't fully understand why. You ever notice how some average-looking dude walks into a room and suddenly women are all around him and you're standing there like, what the hell does he have that I don't? He has that calm certainty, that inner stillness. He doesn't need the moment to go a certain way. He doesn't need anyone to clap for him. He's not performing. He's just being. That's masculine energy at its core. And this is where Stoicism comes in like a fucking freight train. Because what is Stoicism really? It's the path of the man who no longer reacts emotionally to every opinion, outcome, or rejection. It's the man who understands that control isn't about dominating the external, it's about mastering the internal. Epictetus said it best, no man is free who is not master of himself. You want freedom from that desperation? Stop trying to impress, stop measuring yourself by how many girls text you back, and start building the version of you that doesn't need anything external to feel whole. Because here's the harsh truth, needing validation is the fastest way to lose attraction. It's like spiritual body odor. No matter how good you look or how successful you are, if your energy is still screaming, please like me, you're repelling what you're trying to attract. This is what I call the validation death spiral, and it swallows men whole. They spend years leveling up externally, thinking that'll finally earn them love or approval, but inside, still that little boy waiting for a pat on the head. Look, brother, confidence built on achievements is fragile. Because the moment those achievements get taken away, your identity crumbles. But confidence built on self-respect, on emotional discipline, on choosing your own value even when the world gives you nothing, that shit is bulletproof. And that's what drives women wild. So the next time you think about impressing her, don't. Instead, ask yourself, would I still feel like a man if she disappeared right now? If the answer is no, you've got work to do. And that's okay. Because real men don't run from that work. They lean into it. This is the Stoic path, not the path of suppression, but of full ownership, full responsibility, and quiet power. When you're constantly looking for validation, you're basically telling the world, and especially her, that you don't really believe in your own value. And if you don't believe it, why would she? The guys who make women obsessed, they do the complete opposite. They're self-validated. They know their worth inside, without needing anyone else to tell them. They can take a compliment without clinging to it, and they can handle criticism without falling apart. This kind of self-confidence is super attractive because it's so rare. Most people are out here begging for approval, so when you meet someone who doesn't need it, they immediately seem more important. One of the most magnetic qualities a guy can have is the ability to be 100% in the moment. Sounds simple, right? But it's actually pretty rare and powerful. Most men are stuck in their heads thinking about past mistakes, comparing themselves, or worrying about the future and what-ifs. Their minds are busy planning and strategizing, so they're never truly with the woman they're talking to. But when you really show up, listening fully, engaging honestly, and feeling comfortable even when it's quiet, you create a powerful attraction. Women feel noticed, understood, and truly appreciated, something most men don't offer. That presence shows confidence and calm. A man who's grounded in the moment isn't stressed about what's coming or haunted by what's gone. He's just okay with himself and his life right now, and that's insanely attractive. Here's a mind blower for you. A lot of your goals, worries, and insecurities, they're not really yours. They've been planted in your mind by society, media, and all the messages around you. Think about it for a second. Why do you want a six-pack, or that fancy car, or to hit a certain paycheck? If you're honest, it's probably because someone told you these things will make you look successful, attractive, or worthy. But what if you wiped the slate clean? What if you ignored all the noise from society and just asked yourself, what do I really want? Most guys never do this because they're too busy chasing goals that aren't even theirs. The men who actually make women obsessed? They've broken out of this fake script. They live by their own rules, follow what truly excites them, and decide what success means for them. That kind of realness is magnetic because most people are just running on autopilot, following what they've been told to want. Most guys think they want six-pack abs, but what they really want is the confidence they believe abs will bring. They think money will make them confident, but what they actually want is that feeling of being secure and sure of themselves. Here's the catch. Chasing achievements only builds a fragile kind of confidence. It vanishes as soon as those achievements are in danger. True confidence? That comes from accepting yourself right now, not from trying to become someone else. That's why some wildly successful men still feel insecure, while some average guys walk around with rock-solid confidence. When you try to boost your confidence by stacking up achievements, you're actually telling yourself, "I'm not good enough as I am." And that message sinks deep, making you less confident, not more. Here's a truth that most guys don't want to hear. When sex becomes your main goal with women, you're actually handing them all the power. Think about it. If your happiness and self-worth depend on whether a woman sleeps with you, then she's basically the boss of how you feel. She controls your mood, and women feel this desperation right away. When they know sex is your #1 aim, they realize they can use it to control you, giving it as a reward or pulling it away like a punishment. But here's the game changer. When sex isn't your main focus, when you're really there to connect, have a good chat and enjoy the moment, you keep your power. You don't rely on her for validation or to feel good about yourself, and oddly enough, that makes her want you more. This leads to one of the weirdest but most powerful rules of attraction. Sometimes, saying no to sex is the best move. If you can turn down sex because you're not in the right headspace, or you want to build something deeper first, or maybe you just don't feel like it, that shows you're confident and have options. It sends a strong message. You're not desperate, you value more than just physical stuff, and you can't be easily played. Most guys are so hungry for female attention that they'll jump on any chance, no matter what. But the men who truly spark female obsession know that sometimes rejection is more powerful than acceptance. At the core of what makes a man truly attractive is Stoicism, being calm, steady, and unshaken by what's happening outside. That doesn't mean no emotions, it means being strong inside, no matter how she acts, what she says, or the test she throws at you. When you can stay solid and cool no matter what, you become like a rock in a storm, stable, reliable, and completely unbreakable, and women find that impossible to resist. This kind of stoicism lets you be fully present with her. When you're not stressing about what might happen next, not trying to impress or chasing her approval, you can just enjoy the moment together. No pressure, no distractions, and that real relaxed connection? That's what sparks deep attraction and keeps her hooked. Here's something super important. Men and women experience attraction differently. Guys are mostly visual. We notice what looks good. But women? They're emotional. They fall for how they feel. That's why women can become crazy about a guy who might not be a model, while totally ignoring a handsome guy who just doesn't move them emotionally. It's also why romance novels work so well, because it's the feelings and words that stir them up, not just pictures. Once you get that women fall in love through emotions, you stop obsessing over looks and start focusing on how you make her feel. Your personality, your vibe, and how you show up matter way more than your face or body. Men who are grounded, calm, steady, and real are magnetic to women, because that kind of calm is rare these days. Most guys are anxious and always chasing something outside themselves to feel whole. But when you're truly comfortable with who you are, your life and your situation, you become like a magnet. People, especially women, are drawn to your calm and steady energy because it makes them feel safe. Being grounded also helps you avoid the usual traps that kill attraction, like being needy, always needing validation, stressing about outcomes, or reacting emotionally. When you're grounded, you keep your balance no matter what's happening around you. The biggest secret to making women truly addicted to you, it's all about finding real, deep inner peace. That means being completely okay with who you are, where you're at in life, and what you have right now. Doesn't mean you stop growing or trying to get better. It means you improve because you love yourself, not because you feel broken or not good enough. When you reach this kind of inner calm, amazing things happen. You stop needing others to approve of you. You become naturally confident and genuine. You're cool with silence and being alone. You don't rely on anyone else to feel complete. And you can give love freely, without needing anything back. That kind of energy is rare and absolutely magnetic to women. Most people carry around hidden hurts, doubts, and neediness. But when a woman meets a man who's truly healed and at peace with himself, she feels pulled in without even knowing why. This kind of connection isn't about having the same hobbies or sharing interests. It's about being fully present with her, really seeing who she is, and connecting with her on a deep level. To do that, you need to be present, empathetic, and emotionally smart. You have to feel her energy, understand her emotions, and respond honestly, not just follow some scripted moves. Most guys are stuck thinking about their next move, instead of really being there in the conversation. The strongest attraction happens when masculine and feminine energies come together perfectly. Not about old-fashioned gender roles, but about how these energies flow. Masculine energy is about being grounded, focused, strong, and present. Feminine energy flows with emotion, intuition, openness, and feeling. When these two balance, something electric happens, true magnetic attraction. Most guys today have lost touch with their true masculine energy. Instead, they've become more reactive, emotional, and always looking for approval, traits usually linked to the feminine side. At the same time, many women have had to step up and develop masculine qualities to thrive in today's world. When a woman meets a man who's genuinely rooted in his masculine energy, she can relax into her feminine side. That mix creates a powerful spark, the kind of attraction and obsession that lasts. One of the strongest qualities you can build is non-reactivity. This means staying calm no matter what she says or does. You don't get angry when she tests you, you don't get overly excited when she compliments you, and you don't feel anxious when she pulls away. Being non-reactive shows off several key traits: emotional strength and maturity, confidence in your own value, a mindset of abundance. You're not desperate for her approval. It shows leadership, the ability to handle pressure, and an air of mystery. When you stay calm and steady, she has to try harder to get a reaction from you. That effort on her part creates emotional investment, and investment builds attachment. Now that you get the psychology behind why women get hooked, how do you start applying it? First, check your reasons. Look at everything you're chasing right now and ask yourself, am I doing this for me or to impress others? Be honest with yourself. If you're working out just to attract women, making money to boost your status, or learning skills just to prove you're worthy, you're caught in the validation trap. Let's talk about something powerful: building inner validation. What does that mean? It means you stop needing the outside world to tell you you're good enough. You stop chasing likes, compliments, or trophies to feel worthy. Instead, you start telling yourself, I'm already enough. You practice self-respect, self-love, and treating yourself like someone you actually care about. You become your own biggest supporter, not your harshest critic. Now here's a simple trick that changes everything. Be present. When you're with someone, really be with them. Put down your phone. Don't worry about looking cool or what you're going to say next. Just focus on the person in front of you. This tiny shift makes people feel seen, and trust me, most people never feel seen. Next up, be real. Drop the act. Stop trying to be the guy you think she wants and just be you. Yeah, it takes guts. Being real means you might get rejected, but if you're always pretending, the connection will never be real anyway. Truth is, only the real you can attract the right kind of woman. Another key, emotional control. That's where Stoicism comes in. It's about staying steady when life throws curveballs, not freaking out when someone criticizes you, not crumbling when things don't go your way. This kind of calm presence is what makes a man magnetic. But here's the deeper layer: inner peace. You've got to do the work inside. That might mean therapy, journaling, meditation, whatever helps you heal past wounds and quiet the noise in your head. Because the goal here isn't just to impress women. It's about becoming the kind of man who naturally attracts better people, better energy, and better relationships into his life. When you live like this, with presence, peace, and purpose, everything changes. And not just in dating. People notice. They respect you more. They trust you. They want to be around you. But listen, this is important. Don't use these ideas to trick or manipulate anyone, especially women. This isn't about playing games. It's about becoming someone real, grounded, and powerful in a quiet way. The kind of man who doesn't need to prove anything because he already knows who he is. Look, everything we've talked about so far, it's powerful stuff. But with that kind of power comes a huge responsibility. The goal here isn't to use this knowledge to mess with people's feelings or take advantage of anyone. It's about becoming a better version of yourself, not some puppet master trying to get what he wants from others. Let's get something straight. Women aren't puzzles to solve or targets to win. They're human beings with real emotions, dreams, fears, and insecurities just like you. So even as you start applying these ideas, do it with kindness. Do it with respect. Be a good man first, always. Now here's the real secret that most people won't tell you. The moment you stop chasing love to feel enough, and you start being completely okay with who you already are, something shifts. Seriously. When you're emotionally grounded, when you love your own life, when you stand firm in your values without needing anyone else to approve, you become magnetic. People feel that. And no, this isn't about some sneaky pickup line or psychological hack. This is about doing the inner work. It's about becoming the kind of man you'd actually admire if you met him. And yeah, it's not always easy. There will be days when it's uncomfortable. But every step you take in this direction makes your life better, whether you're dating someone or not. Because here's the wild part. Once you reach that place of real self-worth where you're not chasing anyone's approval, that's when people, especially women, start getting drawn to you. Almost like magic. Why? Because true self-respect is rare. Being a man who knows his value and doesn't need others to prove it. That's powerful. And that's exactly what the dating industry doesn't want you to figure out. Because this kind of transformation, it can't be sold in a shiny package or quick course. It takes real effort, real growth. But for the men who are willing to walk this path, the payoff is massive. You don't just attract better relationships, you become the man you were meant to be. If this video opened your eyes, what you're about to see next will hit even deeper. On the screen right now, there's another video waiting for you. Accept this brutal truth and become irresistible to almost every woman. Click it. Don't think, just go. It connects everything we talked about here and takes it to a level most men will never reach. And hey, before you go, drop a like if this resonated with you, subscribe if you're serious about evolving as a man, and leave a comment. I want to hear where you are on your journey. I'm James. I'll see you over there.